Hello, dear viewers. Good morning and have a wonderful day. Yes, a dreary morning and a miserable day.
Tomorrow promises to be pure bliss.
Well, yes, pure bliss, of course, if you enjoy freezing rain smoothly transitioning into falling chunks of hail. But look at it with romance, the spring sun, flowers, and the way happy newlyweds march joyfully in crowds towards the wedding palaces.
Marching to get a divorce.
But listen, Bram, what about the smiles on the faces of the elderly folks sitting on the park benches?
Yeah, because they downed a bottle of valerian drops first thing this morning.
And honestly, stop bothering us. The weather! What do you care anyway? Just sit at home and imagine that the weather is wonderful.
Ooh, and I almost forgot. Tomorrow, no flights on Earth or in space.
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong up there. Yeah, something up there is definitely not right.
Dogs are honest, dogs are kind. They read your face and read your mind. Paws on the floor, ears at the door. Then Brom and Bram come in for more. World renowned, they take the scene on every screen, in every beam. Radio glow print on the page. They set the pace, they own the stage. Dogs are wonderful, dogs are best. Brom and Bram beat all the rest. Bow, wow, wow, let them lead. Dogs are all you'll ever need. Brom and Bram, hear them bark. Woof! Brom and Bram hit the mark. Doberman Brom in a sharp black suit. Bloodhound Bram with the trail to shoot. One says hello, one says let's go. Then everybody knows the show. Local hosts, then up they rise. Interplanetary in the skies. TV lights and radio rings. Paper page and headline sings. Dogs are wonderful, dogs are best. Brom and Bram beat all the rest. Bow, wow, wow, let them lead. Dogs are all you'll ever need. Brom and Bram, hear them bark. Woof! Brom and Bram hit the mark. Howl, 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 up they swing. A trumpet laughs, the strings all spring. Bark, 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 then a pause. Who's the cutest? Dogs applause. Dogs are wonderful, dogs are best. Brom and Bram beat all the rest. Bow, wow, wow, let them lead. Dogs are all you'll ever need. Brom and Bram, hear them bark. Woof! Brom and Bram hit the mark. Dogs are honest, dogs are gray. Brom and Bram